Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast. Got a pretty interesting show for you here tonight, and I am probably going to do something that's going to shock a lot of you. I'm going to defend LeBron James against something I thought was egregious and disrespectful to him. Stay tuned for that. But before we get to that, if you haven't already and you're here on YouTube, please go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, and that notification bell so that you can get new content whenever we drop it on the channel. And if you want the audio only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in the Format Podcast. We should come right up. If you like the content, please give us that thumbs up and that 5-star review. Don't forget to share the pod either, and leave a comment. We like those comments. But in all seriousness, share the pod, friends, enemies, family, whoever, all the people you know that might want to hear sports talk and want a different voice than you hear from the regular mainstream sports media. You do all those things, you know what happens. We rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. Now let's get right to it. Okay. I'm about to shock a lot of y'all tonight, recording this episode here, and by the time you listen to it, whenever that is, because I know I got a reputation as being a LeBron James hater, which, I really don't like the term in general of, calling somebody a hater. I think that's such a low information response, and it's lazy. In 2023, if you don't agree with something that somebody says, instead of them rationally refuting you, they just call you a hater, as if you don't have the right to have your own opinion, and if your opinion differs, you're a hater. But it is what it is. So I got this reputation for being a LeBron James hater. Why is that? Because I'm definitely critical of him, but I think the difference is I'm kind of, what do you call that? I'm the juxtaposition to what you normally hear about LeBron. And what you normally hear about LeBron is unfiltered worship. Everybody wants to worship LeBron. LeBron's perfect. LeBron walks on water, all of that. But I'm not with that, right? I can be objective. I can tell you when LeBron's great. I could tell you when there's fake narratives about him, right? I can do all of that. But today, I'm going to stand up for LeBron and I'm going to defend him against something that I heard that I totally disagreed with. Okay, here we go. So, Gils Arena, great podcast, by the way. Shout out Gilbert Arenas. I don't agree with a lot of the things you say, but you make some really good content and some really good basketball stuff, right? And so recently on Gils Arena, I think it was maybe like 3 days ago, depending again on when you're listening to this, but former NBA player Rashad McCants was on there, and he said something that I thought was really wild. And well, just check it out for yourself and come back and then we'll discuss it.
We don't look at KD like we look at LeBron because of promotion. I think that the real hoopers know that Keven Durant is going to go down as a better basketball player
than LeBron.
At the end of the road, not right now. But promotion, if you look at Steph, LeBron, and KD, the promotion between Steph and LeBron is here. Mm-hmm. KD's here. I don't know if he's presentable or marketable. I don't know what it is, but they have more commercials.
Mm-hmm. The dad thing that their fathers, it kind of also with the LeBron conversation, because he has like a college age son and older kids, and Zuri's like 10 or 11 now. It like makes him like seem like a little bit older than he actually is. You look at KD.
And KD's not that young from them.
No, he's not, but when
he's not being pushed.
Right.
He's not being pushed over the limit. And you would think because he's a Nike guy, he's a champion, he came in with just as much hype as LeBron. Mm-hmm. Texas and DC assault, all that stuff. It's like, well, why is KD not being seen as top 3 all time?
So again, y'all know I'm no LeBron James fan. I'm not the guy that's going to cape up for him, and I'm not the guy that's going to go crazy and start attacking anybody else who, has anything negative to say about LeBron. That's not me, right? I'm not in that camp. However, I am a journalist, and I'm objective and I'm fair. And this is the deal. To say that, so you heard Rashad McCants say that he believes that when it's all said and done and both guys are all done playing, the real hoopers will know that Keven Durant was the better player. Now, to some extent, I can understand a little bit what he was saying and what he was getting at when he said that, right? When he talks about the real hoopers knowing Keven Durant was the better player. I think, and this is just me, kind of what that really meant was real hoopers know who is the guy that has the better offensive skill set, right? the true arsenal and can do more things to you and destroy you offensively, right? And that's clearly Kevin Durant, right? He has the better handle than LeBron James. I'm not going to say post game because neither of them are really elite post players. He's clearly the better shooter in the mid range. He's clearly the better shooter from three. Like, there's no question about those things, right? KD shoots almost 39% from three for his career and 49.9% overall from the field, 50%. And he doesn't take nearly the amount of shots at the rim that LeBron James has taken throughout his career. So, and just the eye test when you look at these two guys play, right? KD is so smooth, where LeBron is more like a bull in a china shop, right? KD, he can put it on the floor, he can cross you up, he can pull up with regularity, he can obviously move without the basketball, he can catch and shoot, he can do so much, right? And over the years, his playmaking has absolutely evolved as well. I mean, he's averaging what, 5.5 assists per game this season. I think his highest is 5.9, right? So we can round that up to 6 assists per game. No, 6.4. I'm sorry. 6.4 assists per game. So, and that's with Brooklyn. So later in his career, he's become an elite passer along with being an elite scorer. He can rebound the basketball. He's 7.1 rebounds for his career, which I believe just about matches up with LeBron. LeBron is about 7.5 rebounds for his career. So for a guy so much more physically imposing than Kevin Durant is, you would have expected that he would have been a significantly better rebounder. But, it's my opinion, and I could be wrong here, that LeBron, he just doesn't like the contact of banging in the paint like that, especially not on the offensive glass. And that kind of shows it. His offensive rebounding numbers, LeBron's, are low for his career. But anyway, Kevin Durant is an incredible, incredible player. And so I kind of get where Rashad McCants says real hoopers, because he's not the first person I've heard that's really, into skills that's going to tell you that Kevin Durant is a better player than LeBron. Now, is that really the case? I mean, we can look at stats, and I'm not the overwhelming stat guy, but at the end of the day, LeBron is a guy that I think now is the only member of the 39,000 point, 9,000 assists, 9,000 rebound club. Like, that is absolutely phenomenal. And to have been able to do that over a career, it's like, whoa. I mean, there's not too many people. Well, as a matter of fact, there's no one else who can say that. Now, with that said, does that make LeBron the best player of all time? No, totally disagree. But does that make him Kevin Durant, him better than Kevin Durant? No, not on his face. But to say that you believe that Kevin Durant is the better player than LeBron, yeah, I can't go that far. And part of that is this, right? We know that Kevin Durant is a two-time champion, two-time Finals MVP. LeBron is a four-time champ, four-time Finals MVP. Now, Kevin Durant has only been to the Finals 3 times, not 10 like LeBron, but in those 3 times, he's won 2 and only lost 1. Now, he lost that one head-to-head to LeBron. It just occurred to me, all 3 times he's been in the Finals, he's played against LeBron, and he's given him work all 3 times, right? Even when he was young with the OKC Thunder, he averaged 30 in that Finals series, and I think he averaged about 33 when he was with the Warriors. Now, with the Warriors, that one was, it's going to be easy for any elite, outstanding to elite offensive player to really get busy in that scheme, because, like, who do you take away, right? You can't really double Steph. You can't really double Clay, So the way those guys played with the amount of shooters, the way they spread the floor, and obviously they played good defense too, but the way they spread the floor and no shooters, and then Steve Kerr really moving the ball, it made it so easy to have 3 lights out shooters on the floor. So now you get a guy like Kevin Durant, he's 7 feet tall, he can put it on the floor and he can shoot it. Well, he's going to have a very easy time. And that's what we saw in back-to-back years, him absolutely, cooking LeBron, when indeed LeBron actually took the matchup in the NBA Finals. But again, here's where it comes down to the difference for me, right? And again, y'all know I'm not a LeBron guy, but I got to defend him here. I got to be fair, right? Kevin Durant has hopped around like LeBron has. LeBron has played for 3 franchises. Kevin Durant has played for 4, right? But the difference is this. Kevin Durant has never been a guy who could carry a team the way LeBron could, and has LeBron needed more help of higher caliber than any other elite player in NBA history? Absolutely. There's no question about that. But even kind of with the same type of elite offensive skill talent with him, Kevin Durant still couldn't carry the teams that he had. Now, of course, there were some factors at play, like there always are, but he still couldn't carry those teams the way LeBron could carry his teams, right? So Kevin Durant, obviously, he's with OKC. He does make the finals, but then OKC starts to fall apart. They lose James Harden, who was Sixth Man of the Year when he was with them, but they lose him, and they can't get back to the finals, including blowing a 1-3 lead in the Western Conference Finals the year before. He ends up going to Golden State, coincidentally, the team that beat them and knocked them out of the playoffs. That's a whole different story, right? Anyway, he goes to Golden State. He wins 2 championships, back-to-back finals MVPs. Great. Then he feels like, okay, first I love the way we play basketball here, beautiful brand of basketball, blah, blah, blah. Then towards the end of his time in Golden State, it's, there's times where, I need the ball and I need to take over where, isolation is necessary, but that wasn't Golden State's scheme. And then, of course, you hear he's not happy because he feels like he's never going to get the attention or the respect that he feels he deserves because why? That's Steph Curry's team and Steph gets all the love. Well, you keep winning, you keep racking up finals MVPs, that's going to come to you, but whatever. So he rolls out, he leaves, he goes to the opposite side of the country, he goes to New York, or Brooklyn Nets, and he's got Kyrie Irving with him. And, okay, that was cool. Then he gets James Harden with him, so he got another big 3. Now we got stuff going on that first year. You got injuries, and then the second year you have Kyrie not wanting to comply with the vaccine mandate, so you got all that. But again, and this is what I can honestly say because I've seen it, even in that situation in the East, LeBron probably would have found a way to drag his team to the finals. I mean, that just is what it is, right? We've seen a lot of that in previous years. LeBron probably would have found a way to put his team on his back and take him to the finals. Now, how that would have gone once they got there, it's fair to assume that LeBron would have lost, right? Because why? He's lost more than 50% of the time that he's been in the finals. That's just is what it is. But he would have likely found a way to carry his team. So Kevin Durant wasn't able to do that. Then, of course, Kyrie eventually gets traded out of there. He ends up in Dallas. And Kevin Durant goes and tells Brooklyn that he wants out, right? Oh, and James Harden, he's gone too, right? He gets traded to Philadelphia. So Kevin Durant's like, yo, I want out of here. And they get him to Phoenix. And he's in Phoenix. And he got there last year. They made the playoffs, didn't get out of the first round. And now he's doing his thing again this year. So the point I'm trying to make is, Kevin Durant, as skilled as he is and as elite a player as he is, can't do the things that LeBron could do, right? Because if he was, he would have. And I think his reputation and his legacy, as great as he is, may be taking a hit, right? Because I think many people like myself feel like he doesn't have those 2 titles if he doesn't go to Golden State. And even though he went there and he was elite and he won the 2 championships and got 2 finals MVPs, a big part of that is, like I mentioned earlier, the way that team was built, and it was so easy for him to get off. So now he's already an elite offensive player. And now you combine that with another elite offensive player in Steph Curry and a very good, outstanding offensive player in Klay Thompson at the time. It's really hard. Like, what at that point is an opposing defense supposed to do? It was almost too easy. So let me be clear here. What I want to say is I kind of understand what Rashad McCants is trying to say in terms of when he says real hoopers know who the better player was. I think he's looking at it in terms of just skill package. And there's no question that Kevin Durant's skill package is superior to LeBron James on an offensive level. But at the end of the day, Kevin Durant is not a better player than LeBron James. He's just not, and he won't be. And to say that, I think was ridiculous. So I want to give LeBron all his due here. As much as I like KD, it's cool. He and I actually share the same birthday. I think I'm exactly like 9 or 10 years older than him. But yeah, so, I mean, it is what it is. You don't have to be a LeBron fan to be objective and say, hey, Kevin Durant, you're not better than LeBron, and you won't be when it's all said and done. But you've had a great career in your own right. You're definitely going to be a Hall of Famer, which, as a side note, NBA, well, not even NBA, basketball Hall of Fame doesn't mean a whole lot. There's a lot of guys in there who, in my estimation, do not deserve to be there, but different story for a different day. Maybe I'll do a show about that. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the topic. What I want to know from you is, do you agree with Rashad McCants and what he said about LeBron eventually, about real hoopers knowing that eventually Kevin Durant is the better player when it's all said and done than LeBron James? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Can't wait to hear from you. I'll be back with you next time, and I'm out. Peace.